everyone, I welcome you all to this session. I am K. Rajalakshmi, working as an assistant professor in the Department of English, Bishop Eva College, Tiruchirappalli. In this session, we are going to have a glimpse into the coffee house life in London in the middle of the 16th century. Before moving towards the main topic for discussion, one have to learn how the coffee drinking habit entered England. To know, we have to search through the pages of history to learn about the origin of coffee, and what we found was that the coffee was first introduced in Abyssinia, East Africa. From Abyssinia, it reached the Arabian Peninsula at the end of the 15th century. From Arabia, the coffee drinking habit spread to Europe during the 17th century. The coffee house was first introduced in London during the period of Oliver Cromwell, the Lord Protector of England. During the rule of Queen Anne, the coffee house became the centre of social life. In London alone, there were 500 coffee houses, such was its popularity. People from different walks of life had their own coffee houses. The politicians had their own set of coffee houses. The coffee house for tourists is Cocoa Chocolate House. The coffee house for the rich is St. James Coffee House. Like politicians, the coffee houses were there for literary men too. The literary men often visited Will's Coffee House. Literary topics were discussed during these meetings. John Dryden, a greatest literary figure of his time, visited this coffee house. Like Will's Coffee House, the other famous coffee house of the time is Button's Coffee House. It was founded by Mr. Button, an old servant of Joseph Addison. The major literary figure who visited this coffee house were Joseph Addison and Sir Richard Steele. They both are known for their spectacular work, The Spectator Club. The Grecian Coffee House was supported by the literary scholars and the critics, and one common feature and most important, most interesting feature is smoking. It's allowed in all the coffee houses. Like literary men, the other professionals too had their own coffee houses. The doctors had their own favorite, Garraway's Coffee House. It was founded by Thomas Garraway, a dealer in tea, coffee and tobacco. Dr. John Radcliffe, the great doctor of the Restoration period, often visited Garraway's Coffee House. This was also the meeting place for the business magnates, where they discussed about their business dealings. And here I am sharing some of the famous coffee houses of the 18th century London. And this is the interior of the coffee house, where the people are sitting together and they are discussing about the matters of life. Coffee houses played an important role in promoting social life in England. People met at coffee houses to exchange views on matters of common interest. Overall, the coffee houses was considered as cradle of British democracy. Hope you enjoyed the session. So whenever you have a cup of coffee, you will remember the short history of coffee houses. Thank you.